Overlooking flow documentation. Why it's an issue. Insufficient documentation of workflows can create significant challenges, especially in collaborative environments or when the flow needs to be maintained over time. Without proper documentation, understanding the purpose and structure of a flow becomes difficult, particularly when others need to modify it or troubleshoot errors. This lack of clarity can result in increased time spent deciphering logic, identifying issues, and making changes, which in turn leads to inefficiency and potential errors. If you revisit a flow after some time, it may be harder to remember the reasoning behind specific decisions or the purpose of each action, resulting in a longer process to make updates or resolve problems. Best practices to document your flows. Use descriptive names for actions, variables, and flow steps. Naming conventions play a crucial role in making flows more understandable. Ensure that every action, variable, and flow step is given a meaningful, self-explanatory name that indicates its purpose. This approach allows anyone reviewing the flow to quickly grasp its logic without needing to investigate every detail. Example: instead of naming a variable var1, name it something like user email address or order status to clarify its purpose in the flow. Add inline comments to explain complex logic. Whenever you use complex logic, such as advanced conditions, expressions, or custom calculations, add comments that explain what each step is doing and why it's necessary. Comments provide context, making it easier for others to follow your reasoning. Example: when using a nested condition, add a comment explaining why the condition checks certain values and what outcome is expected. Checking if order total exceeds $100 to apply discount. Document key decisions and assumptions. During flow creation, you may make assumptions or decisions that need to be documented for future reference. Note down why certain choices were made, such as why a specific connector or data operation was chosen. This provides valuable insights for others who may need to modify or extend the flow later. Example: document why you decided to use get items instead of get item, or why a particular threshold value is being used in a decision. Create a separate flow documentation file. For larger, more complex workflows, consider creating a separate documentation file, e.g., a Word document, wiki page, or a SharePoint list, that outlines the overall design, flow logic, data sources, and any special considerations. This document can serve as a central reference point for team members and stakeholders. Example: maintain a Word document or a SharePoint page that explains the purpose of the flow, its triggers, actions, variables, and any dependencies on external systems. Update documentation when changes are made. As flows evolve over time, it's essential to keep documentation up to date with each change. Whether you're adding new actions, modifying logic, or adjusting variables, ensure the documentation reflects these updates. Failure to update documentation can cause discrepancies between the flow itself and the documented design. Example: whenever a new trigger or condition is added to a flow, add a comment and update any reference documentation so that future users are aware of the modification. Use version control for collaborative flows. For teams working on the same flow, consider using version control to track changes made over time. Power Automate allows exporting and importing flows, which can be integrated with version control systems like Git. This ensures that the latest updates are always documented, and you can track modifications by different users. Example: maintain a Git repository for flows in a shared environment, with each version tagged and described for transparency. Key takeaways: descriptive naming conventions and inline comments make flows more understandable and easier to modify. Document key decisions, assumptions, and any complex logic to provide context for future modifications. Maintain a separate, up-to-date documentation file that outlines the flow's purpose and structure. Use version control for collaborative environments to keep track of flow changes over time. Updating documentation regularly ensures that it remains relevant and reduces confusion for future modifications.